Have you ever wondered what kinds of lessons wealthy families pass down to their kids that others might not? It's not always about having more money to start with. Often, it's about the conversations that happen at the dinner table, the mindset that's encouraged from a young age, and the way success and failure are explained. Today on Empower and Thrive, we're going to explore 15 life-changing lessons that rich parents tend to teach their children, lessons that many people never hear growing up. This isn't about blame or judgment. It's about understanding how knowledge, values, and habits get passed down, and how anyone can begin to change their financial future by changing the way they think. Let's get into it. Number 1, you're not entitled to anything. One of the first lessons many rich parents teach is that you're not entitled to anything. This may sound harsh, but it's actually empowering. Rich parents often teach their kids that wealth must be earned, managed, and respected. There's a strong emphasis on responsibility and contribution. They also teach that money should never be taken for granted. It's something to be handled with care, not wasted or flaunted. This goes against the stereotype we often see online. While social media can give the impression that wealthy people are flashy or arrogant, the truth is that most quietly wealthy families value humility. They don't view money as a status symbol, but as a tool that requires thoughtful stewardship. This teaches kids that success isn't handed out. It's created through effort, learning, and persistence. Number 2, avoid magical thinking and set realistic goals. There's a strong push to avoid magical thinking. Rich parents encourage their kids to focus on realistic goals and long-term planning, rather than relying on luck or hunches to improve their financial situation. They emphasize that lasting financial success comes from thoughtful planning, informed decisions, and consistent effort, not superstition or wishful thinking. Learning to set practical, achievable goals early on helps build both confidence and momentum. It creates a foundation for smart decision-making and long-term progress. Learning to set realistic goals can often be a big game changer when it comes to wealth building. Rich parents often encourage their kids to pause and ask, what are the steps I need to take to get to my goal? Number 3, build positive daily habits. One of the biggest things rich families pass down is the importance of daily routines. They know that success is built in the small, often overlooked habits that add up over time. Whether it's reading for 20 minutes, exercising, reviewing goals, or tracking spending, rich parents teach their kids that consistency beats intensity. It's not about one massive push or a dramatic overnight change. It's about showing up daily with purpose, even when it feels boring or repetitive. These small actions create structure, discipline, and momentum, which eventually led to meaningful progress and long-term success. Number 4, learn to be sociable and connect with others. While effort is important, it's not just about working hard in isolation. Rich parents often teach their kids to be sociable, to connect with people, and to build strong networks. Relationships are key in life and business. Whether it's making a good first impression or learning how to collaborate, social skills open doors. These aren't just soft skills, they're wealth-building skills too. Number 5, how to negotiate. Another incredibly valuable life skill that's often passed down is how to negotiate. Whether it's a job offer, a business deal, or even resolving a conflict, negotiation is about knowing your value and not being afraid to ask. You may not get everything you want in a negotiation, but you need to value yourself enough to ask for it. Also, be able to handle a no without getting emotional or spiraling out. Rich parents often have open discussions about how to ask for what you're worth and how to create win-win situations. It's a confidence builder and it pays dividends throughout life. Number 6, understand how money works. Rich parents often make sure their kids understand how money actually works. They don't just say, save your money or don't spend too much. They go deeper. They teach what money does, how it moves, and how it grows. This includes the concept of compound interest, which is the power of earning interest on your interest. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful financial forces in the world. The earlier you learn it, the more time you have to let it work for you. Number 7, the difference between income and cash flow. Financial education continues with lessons about income versus cash flow. It's not enough to earn a high salary. What matters is how much money you keep and how well it moves through your life. Rich parents often teach their kids to think in terms of cash flow, how much is coming in, how much is going out, and how passive income can eventually free up your time. Number 8, the difference between assets and liabilities. Along with understanding money, wealthy families often teach the difference between assets and liabilities. A car might feel like a symbol of success, but if it constantly costs you money, it's not an asset. An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes it out. When kids learn to evaluate things based on whether they help them build wealth or drain it, they grow up with a different approach to spending and investing. Number 9, use good debt, avoid bad debt. When education or business ventures require borrowing money, rich parents often explain the difference between good debt and bad debt. Good debt is seen as an investment. It helps you acquire something that increases in value or generates income, like a rental property, a business, or higher education with strong earning potential. Bad debt, on the other hand, usually funds consumption that doesn't create any return, such as expensive clothes or a new car you can't afford. Teaching this distinction early helps kids make smarter, more strategic financial decisions as adults and prevents them from falling into cycles of borrowing that drain their future wealth. Number 10, money is a tool, not a goal. Another mindset shift they teach is that money is a tool, not a goal. It's not something to chase blindly, and it's not a symbol of your worth. Money is a resource. It gives you choices, freedom, and stability. When kids grow up understanding this, they don't define their identity by how much money they have. They see it as a way to create options, to build a life they are proud of. Number 11, how compound interest works. Compound interest is so powerful that rich parents don't just teach the concept once. They explain how it works, how your money earns interest, and then that interest also earns interest, creating a snowball effect over time. Even small amounts, when invested consistently and left to grow, can turn into significant wealth. Rich parents often use real-life examples, calculators, and goal setting to show just how quickly money can grow when it's left to compound. They also make sure their kids understand the flip side, what happens when compound interest works against you, how credit card debt or high-interest loans compound your debt, making it harder to pay off. It's a lesson that leaves a lasting impression and helps shape smart financial habits early. Number 12, how to spot opportunities in problems. Kids in wealthy households are often taught how to look at problems differently. Instead of seeing a setback as something to avoid, they're encouraged to ask, what's the opportunity here? This mindset turns frustration into creativity. Rich parents help their kids see that problems are invitations to grow and sometimes to profit. By learning to approach challenges with curiosity and optimism, these kids grow up better equipped to create value, solve real-world problems, and build lasting success. Number 13, solve problems to create wealth. This leads to one of the most important principles of wealth: solve problems to create value. Whether it's starting a business, inventing a product, or creating content, wealth often follows those who can help others solve real problems. Rich parents often highlight this early on. The message is clear: if you want to build wealth, look for ways to serve people. Number 14, degrees aren't the only path to success. Another important perspective rich parents pass down is that university degrees are just one path. They're not the only measure of intelligence or potential. While education is important, it can take many forms. Some wealthy families encourage entrepreneurship, trades, or self-study just as strongly as traditional education. The point is to stay curious and resourceful. Number 15, failure is feedback, not a dead end. Underlying many of these lessons is the understanding that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone. Rich parents often normalize occasional setbacks and treat them as part of the journey to success. They openly share their own mistakes and the valuable lessons they gained from them. Instead of making kids fear failure, they frame it as useful feedback, something that helps you grow, improve, and try again with more wisdom. Every setback becomes a teacher. When resilience is nurtured from a young age, it becomes a powerful force that helps kids face challenges with confidence and determination. All of these lessons come together when they are taught with empathy and intention. Not every wealthy parent gets this right, but the ones who do understand that the goal isn't to raise children who obsess over money, but to raise adults who feel capable, confident, and prepared to handle whatever life throws at them. If you didn't grow up hearing these things, that's okay. The good news is you can learn them at any age. You can teach them to your kids, your nieces and nephews, or even your future self. Change starts with awareness. And every step you take to understand money, habits, and mindset better puts you in a stronger position than you were before. Thanks for watching Empower and Thrive. If this video resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who could use a little encouragement on their financial journey. And as always, keep thriving.